10th Standard Science, Chapter 17, Reproduction in Plants and Animals. இந்த லெசனோட புக் பேக் ஆன்சர்ஸ் பார்ப்போம். First Roman letter, choose the correct answer. First one, the plant which propagates with the help of its leaves is dash. Option D answer, bryopylum. Second one, a sexual reproduction takes place through budding in dash. Option B answer, yeast. Third one, syngamy results in the formation of dash. Option C, zygote. Fourth one, the essential part of a flower or dash. Option D answer, androecium and xenoecium. Fifth one, anemophilous flower have dash. Option D answer, large feathery stigma. Sixth one, male gametes in angiosperm are formed by the division of dash. Option A, generative cell. Seventh one, what is true gametes? Option D answer, they are formed from gonads. Eighth one, a single highly coiled tube where sperms are stored, get concentrated and mature is known as option A answer, epididymis. Ninth one, the large elongated cells that provide nutrition to developing sperms are option B answer, Sertoli cells. Tenth one, estrogen is secreted by option C answer, Graafian follicle. 11th one, which one of the following is an IUCD? Option A answer, copper T. Roman letter 2, fill in the blanks. First one, the embryo sac in a typical dicot at the time of fertilization is dash. Answer, 7-celled. Second one, after fertilization, the ovary develops into dash. Answer, fruit. Third one, planaria reproduce asexually by dash, regeneration. Fourth one, fertilization is dash in humans, internal. Fifth one, the implantation of the embryo occurs at about dash day of fertilization, 7th day. Sixth one, dash is the first secretion from the mammary gland after childbirth, colostrum. Seventh one, prolactin is a hormone produced by dash, pituitary gland. Third Roman letter, option A, match the following. Answer, column 1 and column 2, fission, amoeba, budding, yeast, fragmentation, sprigoira. Option B, match the following terms with their respective meanings. Answer, option A, parturition, delivery of baby from uterus. Then B, gestation, duration between pregnancy and birth. Then C, ovulation, release of egg from Graafian follicle. Then option D, implantation, attachment of zygote to endometrium. Answer, A3, B1, C4, D2. Fourth Roman letter, state whether the following statement are true or false. Correct the false statement. First one, stalk of the ovule is called pedicule. The statement is false. The correct statement, stalk of the ovule is called funicle. Second one, seeds are the product of a sexual reproduction. The statement is false. The correct statement, seeds are the product of sexual reproduction. Third one, yeast reproduces asexually by means of multiple fission. The statement is false. The correct statement, yeast reproduces asexually by budding. Fourth one, the part of the pistil which serves as a receptive structure for the pollen is called as style. The statement is false. The correct statement, the part of the pistil which serves as a receptive structure for the pollen is called stigma. Fifth one, insect pollinated flowers are characterized by dry and smooth pollen. The statement is false. The correct statement, wind pollinated flowers are characterized by dry and smooth pollens, or insect pollinated flowers are characterized by large and spiny pollens. Sixth one, sex organs produce gametes which are diploid. The statement is false. The correct statement, sex organs produce gametes which are haploid. Seventh one, LH is secreted by posterior pituitary. Eighth one, menstrual cycle ceases during pregnancy. The statement is true. Ninth one, surgical method of contraception prevent gamete formation. The statement is false. The correct statement, surgical method of contraception prevent fertilization. Tenth one, the increased level of estrogen and progesterone is responsible for menstruation false. The decrease in level of estrogen and progesterone is responsible for menstruation. The statement is correct. Fifth Roman letter, answer in a word or sentence. First one, if one pollen grain produces two male gametes, how many pollen grains are needed to fertilize 10 ovules? The answer, 10 pollen grains. Second question, in which part of the flower germination of pollen grains takes place? The answer, stigma. Third one, name two organisms which reproduces through budding. The statement, yeast and hydra. Fourth question, mention the functions of endosperm. Answer, endosperm provides food to the developing embryo. Fifth one, name the hormone responsible for the vigorous contractions of the uterine muscles. Answer, oxytocin. Sixth one, what is the enzyme present in acrosome of sperm? Answer, hyaluronidase. Seventh one, when is World Menstrual Hygiene Day observed? May 28th. Eighth one, what is the need for contraception? It is a birth control measure. Ninth one, name the part of the human female reproductive system where the following occurs. Option A, fertilization. Option B, implantation. Then option A, fertilization, fallopian tube. Then B, implantation, uterus. Sixth Roman letter, short answer questions. First one, what will happen if you cut planaria into small fragments? First point, planaria can be cut into any number of pieces and each piece gives rise to a complete organism. Second point, the ability of the last body parts of an individual organism to give rise to a whole new organism is called regeneration. It takes place by specialized mass of cells, example hydra and planaria. Second question, why is vegetative propagation practiced for growing some type of plants? First point, some plants do not produce seeds. Hence, vegetative propagation is practiced to propagate such plants. Second point, further vegetative propagation will help to retain the parental characters in the next generation as required for some high yielding varieties. Third question, how does binary fission differ from multiple fission? Answer, in binary fission only two daughter cells are produced, whereas in multiple fission many daughter cells are produced. Example, amoeba binary fission, plasmodium multiple fission. Fourth question, define triple fusion. First point, during fertilization process in angiosperm, the pollen grains produces two sperms. Second point, one sperm fuses with the egg and forms a diploid zygote. Third point, another sperm fuses with the secondary nucleus of the embryo sac and forms a triploid primary endosperm nucleus. This is called triple fusion. Fifth question, write the characteristics of insect pollinated flowers. First point, pollination with the help of insects like honeybees, flies is called entomoply. Second point, to attract insects, these flowers are brightly colored, have smell and nectar. Third point, the pollen grains are larger in size. The extine is pitted, spiny, etc. so that they can adhere to the stigma. Sixth question, name the secondary sex organ in male. The secondary sex organ in male include the vas deferens, then epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and penis. Seventh one, what is colostrum? How is milk production hormonally regulated? First point, the first fluid which is released from the mammary gland after childbirth is called as colostrum. Second point, milk production from alveoli of mammary gland is stimulated by prolactin secreted from the anterior pituitary. Third point, the ejection of milk is stimulated by posterior pituitary hormone oxytocin. Eighth question, how can menstrual hygiene be maintained during menstrual days? Answer, first point, sanitary pads should be changed regularly to avoid infections due to microbes from vagina and sweat from genitals. Then second point, use of warm water to clean genitals help to get rid of menstrual cramps. Third point, wearing loose clothes rather than tight fitting clothes will ensure the air flows around the genitals and prevents sweating. Ninth question, how does developing embryo get its nourishment inside the mother's body? Answer, first point, the placenta is a disc-shaped structure attached to the urine wall and is a temporary association between the developing embryo and maternal tissues. Second point, it allows the exchange of food materials, diffusion of oxygen, excretion of nitrogenous waste and elimination of carbon dioxide. Then third point, a cord containing blood vessels that connects the placenta with the fetus is called the umbilical cord. 10th one, identify the parts A, B, C and D. The option A, extine, option B, intine, then option C, generative cell, option D, vegetative nucleus. 11th one, write the events involved in the sexual reproduction of a flowering plant. Option A, discuss the first event and write the types. Option B, mention the advantages and the disadvantages of that event. Option A, answer, the process of sexual reproduction in flowering plants involves first one, pollination, second one, fertilization. Pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from another to stigma of a flower is called as pollination. Types of pollination, first point, self-pollination, second, cross-pollination. Self-pollination, autogamy. Self-pollination is also known as autogamy. The transfer of pollen grains from the another to the stigma of same flower or another flower borne on the same plant is known as self-pollination. Example, hibiscus. Option B, advantages of self-pollination. First point, self-pollination is possible in certain bisexual flowers. Second point, flowers do not depend on agents for pollination. Third point, there are no wastages of pollen grains. Disadvantages of self-pollination. First point, the seeds are less in number. Second point, the endosperm is minute. Therefore, the seed produce weak plants. Third point, new varieties of plants cannot be produced cross pollination. Cross pollination is the transfer of pollen from the anthers of a flower to the stigma of a flower on another plant of the same species. Example, apples, grapes, plum, etc. Advantages of cross pollination. First point, the seed produced as a result of cross pollination develop and germinate properly and grow into better plants. Example, cross pollination leads to the production of new varieties. Second point, more viable seeds are produced. Disadvantages of cross pollination. First point, pollination may fail due to distance barrier. Second point, more wastage of pollen grains. Third point, it may introduce some unwanted characters. Fourth point, flowers depend on the external agencies for pollination. 12th question, why are the human tests located outside the abdominal cavity? Name the pouch in which they are present. First point, the tests are present inside a pouch called scrotal sac. Second point, the tests are located outside the abdominal cavity because sperm develop at a temperature several degrees cooler than normal internal body temperature. 13th question, luteal phase of the menstrual cycle is also called the secondary phase. Give reason. First point, during the luteal phase, the hormone progesterone is secreted by the corpus luteum, which develop from the ruptured Graafian follicles. Second point, its level increases. If menstrual bleeding occurs, the level will decrease. Third point, hence the luteal phase of menstrual cycle is also called secretory phase. 14th question, why are family planning methods not adopted by all the people of our country? First point, family planning is a way of living that is adopted voluntarily by couples on the basis of knowledge and responsible decision to promote the health and welfare of the family group and society. Second point, the WHO, World Health Organization, has also stressed the importance of family planning as a global health strategy for all. Third point, further, many families, especially in the lower strata of the society, believe that many children in a family can contribute to more income and do not adopt family planning. Seventh Roman letter, long answer questions. First one, with a neat label diagram, describe the parts of a typical angiospermic ovule. Answer, first point, the main part of the ovule is the nucellus, which is enclosed by two integuments, leaving an opening called as a micropyle. Draw this diagram, structure of the ovule, and mark the parts. Second point, the ovule is attached to the ovary wall by a stalk known as funiculus. Chalaza is the basal part. Third point, the embryo sac contains 7 cells and 8 nuclei located within the nucellus. Fourth point, the 3 cells at the micropylar end from the egg apparatus and the 3 cells at the Zalaza end are the antipodal cells. Fifth point, the remaining two nuclei are called polar nuclei found in the center. In the egg apparatus, one is the egg cell, female gamete, and the remaining two cells are the synergids. Second question, what are the phases of menstrual cycle indicate the changes in the ovary and uterus? Answer, events of menstrual cycle and the role of hormones. Events of menstrual cycle and the role of hormones. Phase, menstrual phase, days 4 to 5 days. Change in ovary, development of primary follicles, changes in uterus. Breakdown of uterine endometrial lining leads to bleeding. Hormonal change, decrease in progesterone and estrogen. Then follicular phase, 6 to 13 days. Primary follicles grow to become a fully mature Graafian follicle. Then endometrium regenerates through proliferation. Then FSH and estrogen increase. Then ovulatory phase, 14th day, the Graafian follicle reproduces and releases the ovum egg. Increase in endometrial thickness. Then LH peak. Then luteal phase, 15th to 28th day, emptied Graafian follicle developing into corpus luteum. Endometrium is prepared for implantation in fertilization of egg take place, and fertilization does not occur. Corpus luteum degenerates. The uterine wall reputes, bleeding starts, and unfertilized egg is expelled. Then hormones change, LH and FSH decrease, corpus luteum produces progesterone and its level increases, followed by a decline if menstrual bleeding occurs. 8th Roman letter, higher order thinking skills. First one, in angiosperms, the pollen germinates to produce pollen tube that carries two gametes, which is the purpose of carrying two gametes when single gamete can fertilize the egg. First point, the second gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus in the embryo sac of the ovule. Second point, this forms the triploid endosperm nucleus, which develops into the endosperm tissue and gives nourishment to the developing embryo. Third point, when the ovule forms the seed after fertilization, the endosperm serves to give nourishment to the embryo during germination until the first set of foliage leaves are formed by the seeding or baby plant. Second one, why menstrual cycle does not take place before puberty and during pregnancy. First point, the menstrual cycle begins only after the complete development of the gonads. During puberty, the gonads become functional and hence menstrual cycle begins. Second point, pregnancy is initiated by fertilization and zygote formation. The zygote gets implanted in the uterus. The reputed follicle develop into a temporary endocrine gland called corpus luteum to produce hormones. Uterine wall is thickened to receive the zygote. If fertilization does not take place, corpus luteum degenerates, uterine wall reputes, and unfertilized egg is expelled, resulting in menstruation. Hence, menstrual cycle does not occur during pregnancy. Third question, read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Rohini and her parents were watching a television program. An advertisement flashed on the screen which was promoting use of sanitary napkins. Rohini's parents suddenly changed the channel, but she objected to her parents and explained the need and importance of such advertisement. Option A, what is first menstruation called? When does it occur? Then option B, list out the napkin hygiene measures taken during menstruation. Then option C, do you think that Rohini's objection towards her parents was correct? If so, why? Option A, menarche. It occurs at the age of 11 to 13 years. Then option B, napkin hygiene. The parents and teachers are to create awareness among the school girls about the use of napkins and their proper disposal. Girls should be educated in the following ways. First point, the sanitary pad and Tampons should be wrapped properly and discarded because they can spread infections. If a sanitary pad or a tampon should not be flushed down the toilet. Third point, napkin incinerators are to be used properly for disposal of used napkins. Then option C, yes, her objection was right. The advertisement create awareness. Those by watching such advertisement, girls and their parents will gain knowledge about such products and their usage. Draw this concept map.